Hi everyone, it's week 6 and time for your overview for Humanities 103 Mythology. Quick look at the course schedule. You have some readings. Actually, you have mostly videos for this week. And then you have one discussion post that is due on Sunday. And you'll notice there is no peer response for that one. So it's just based on what you have read this week. And you'll be responding in your discussion post. All right, quickly back to the list of your readings. You'll notice that we have the Norse myth of creation, the Babylonian creation myth, Egyptian creation myth, Chinese, the Maori, which are the indigenous people of New Zealand. So lots of different areas around the world, different cultures. And what I'd like you to do as you watch these videos or read the text is think about two things. I want you to think about, what do these myths have in common? Do you notice any common elements, say between the Maori version of creation and Egyptian? Do they have any common features in the structure, like how the story is told, what came first and what came next and what came last, and so forth? And also, I would like you to be thinking about those Weigel types of creation myths. So remember, last week you read about Martha Weigel's creation myths, her types, and you saw that table that listed the 9 types and what were the common elements of each one. So it's not like I expect you to memorize those by any means, but what I would love for you to do is, as you're reading these, for you to say, oh, wait, I know I've seen that. That seems very familiar to me. So go back to her table and see if you can pinpoint what you think Martha Weigel would have said about that particular myth. What type is it? All right, let's take a look at your discussion post for this week. So what I'm asking you to do now is to take 2 of our readings and apply them to some of the myths that you've been either reading or watching. So I said in this week's module, you read an article titled The Origin of Creation Myths by Lawrence Trabet. He has a very interesting approach to this subject through the lens of psychology and more specifically psychoanalysis, as he's attempting to develop a comprehensive theory that explains why nearly every culture on Earth and throughout history have told creation myths that have similar details. So whether you agree with this guy or not, and I have to say, some of his stuff might be a little far-fetched, but you have to admit it's interesting, it's compelling, and I really admire people who are really curious and thinking about these particular things. So your discussion post has 2 parts. They're both due on Sunday. The first part is the summary. So after you've read the Trabet article, I want you to summarize the key features or the key elements of his argument. So what are those key things that he says appear in all of these creation myths, and why? And that's the key thing. It's not so much what they are, but why they appear. What story details does he indicate are shared among cultures, and what is his explanation? Okay. So devote about 250 words to that. And if you don't know, 250 words is roughly 1 page of double-spaced text in Word. So that will help you kind of judge, your word count when you're formulating your answers here. Part 2, analysis and comprehension. I would like you to choose 3 creation myths that you've read or listened to in the last 2 weeks of this module. For each myth, list the title and country or culture of origin. And then I want you to analyze it using Trabet's theory. So look at this creation myth. What elements in there do you see that could conceivably be explained by Trabet's theory? So explain what that element or elements are, and then why. Why do those fit into his theory? Then I want you to switch over to the Weigel microscope. What types of creation myths, or what type, do you think this is according to those 9 types that you read about? Be sure to go back and actually read through the discussion instructions because I've actually given you a little sample of how you might organize your answer there. All right, so I hope that's clear. I hope you enjoy doing that. And as usual, if you have any questions at all about the content of an assignment, any of the major assignments that we're kind of gearing up to be working on, be sure to either email me, preferably through the inbox on Canvas, or show up for chat office hours Monday from 11 to 12. You can just post your question and I will get right back to you. One more thing before I end here today. I have just collected all of your Pantheon project essays. I am super excited to read those, but it's going to take me a while to get through them. I have over 100 to read and evaluate, and I really like to take my time, read each one carefully and thoroughly. So I don't look for those to be graded for at least a week, maybe a week and a half, but I will get to those as quickly as I possibly can. Okay, well, happy Valentine's Day and have a terrific week, and I'll talk to you later.